Welcome to a brand new season of TVGP's Critical Misses. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me as always is an under the weather Moonpier.
Hi. Am I always under the weather? Yes.
Yes, and you're always Moonpier. Um,
Yes.
and like we always do, I say that always, we didn't do it like 1 or 2 years, but it's the end of 2025 has come to pass. Another year's behind us, which means it's time
I
for
think this is the third year.
I think it is, yeah. It's time for an end of the year wrap up of some flavor. Some years we've done two of the best movies of the year, and like this year, we're going to do famous and infamous. Quick two for here.
Mhm.
Reminder: famous means being famous for something good. Infamous means being famous for something bad. And boy, we got a doozy this year for next episode. Don't you
Mhm.
worry. Um, but this year we had some conversations about what the famous movie of the year has would have been. Minecraft was kind of a short list one. That was a really big movie this year. You can hear kind of the entire conversation there over on the Patreon, $5 tier or higher, over at e1m1.cash.
The ones are the numbers, not the words.
So we decided in the end there really could only be one. Surely that's a famous quote from just this movie and nothing else. We're gonna watch K-pop Demon Hunters. The
Hold on, is that a quote from this movie?
No, it's not. That's from Highlander.
Yeah, I know it's from Highlander,
Right.
bro. If we
Um,
if we if we wanted to have a production meeting about seasons that take a downward spiral, that should be number one on the
yeah,
list.
there you go. Yeah. Um, but yeah, this K-pop Demon Hunters seemed like the kind of natural choice as the biggest thing that happened this year. Like there were other big movies, and there are other like big superhero movies. There's a lot of big kind of indie darlings and big serious movies, but nothing really seemed to capture the kind of wider culture than this movie did. And I think if it's anything to go by, you can easily track how popular a kids movie is by how many of the main characters you saw as Halloween costumes for this Halloween. And the
Yes.
answer to that
I
was
think that was
all of
something you
them.
talked about on a pre-show, right? I think you
Yeah.
talked about that on a pre-show this year.
Yeah, very much like going to like walking around for Halloween with my kid or going to my kid's like school Halloween event and everyone's like K-pop Demon Hunters and like all of the Huntrix kids yelling at each other like K-pop Demon Hunters. Like it is definitely the biggest thing around. Um and also not only just like a streaming success because it was very clearly a success for Netflix this year, but also a sort of surprising theater success as well because at some point it got big enough that Netflix released it in theaters, probably much to the chagrin of Sony, who passed on distribution and theater distribution rights, which not one of their best choices, but
Oops.
certainly a Sony choice. uh,
Yes.
they're nothing if not consistent.
Oopsies.
Yeah. So let's start with you for this one. What about this kind of animated juggernaut this year have you absorbed through cultural osmosis?
Honestly, not a whole lot because it's not my crowd per se, and also I've
Sure.
been working and very sick, so
Yeah.
it's been it's been difficult for me to catch up on things like this. I know it's animated. I know it came out on Netflix. I believe it has musical numbers in it. I don't know if that makes it a musical because it's literally written in the title is the word K-pop.
Right.
Uh, so I'm not sure if it's musical or musically inclined.
Sure. Right. I know it's not a jukebox musical because I do know that I think the big song. So I am sure just from proximity, I have heard at least two or three of these songs. People love this soundtrack, Something Fierce. I know the title of the big song from this is called Golden. I think that's the Up 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 song.
Hmm.
Um, and I think I know of one more. The weird thing is my kid has zero interest in this movie whatsoever. So that's the only reason I have sort of accidentally avoided it so far, is I keep getting her to try to watch it because I think she'll like it because she's a kid. Um, and she's all, no, no, thanks, I'm good. But to be fair, she's not. My kid is a TV show kid and not a movie kid. So she's happy to like
Hmm.
tuck into a TV show and like rewatch that and not rewatch a movie. So I think that's sort of how we avoided it. But um, I think I've seen a trailer for this. Okay, I know a third song then. That the Soda Pop song seems to be the kind of clip that shows all the time where the like boy band is singing about "You're my soda pop" and it turns out they're demons, and then the three main ladies, who I'm fairly sure is called Huntrix, as their group.
It's a
They're
really
like,
good name.
yeah, they're like, oh no, they're demons. Let's go get them. And then, of course, my kid has spoiled the ending of the movie for me because she's a kid. It's just like, I'm not precious about it, but she was like, hey, my friend told me something about K-pop Demon Hunters. I'm not going to spoil it. But I was like, oh, yeah, what's that? And she goes, oh, at the end, blah. And I was like, oh, okay.
That's spectacular.
Kids have such a different relationship to spoilers than we do, in a way that I kind of respect. I appreciate it. Um, I am struggling to kind of think what else I know about this, other than like, I feel like the thing I've seen the most is the visuals, especially of the three main characters. I don't know their names. Um, but it has such a, from the outside, it has such uh, a cool, almost kind of soft animation style to it. It's not.
Hmm.
I don't think it's typically what we see from a lot of kind of CG animated stuff that tends to be a hit, which is basically Pixar movies. To me, those are
Yeah, I was gonna say it's CG. It's not traditional animated.
correct. Yeah, we should probably
Although
specify that.
in 2026, that's a little bit difficult to parse these days
True.
between.
Yeah, and like even last year's Flow, which is that cat animated movie that was made in Blender, that won all those awards. That was technically CG if you're making it in Blender, but sort of made to look more traditionally animated. Um,
Yeah.
but it's, other than that, I'm kind of struggling. I don't know anything about K-pop as a genre or industry or anything like that, so I'm going into that kind of blind. I'm very curious to see how much cultural representation is in this movie. Something that I felt was really strong in something like Pixar put out that Red Panda movie. What was that? Pixar Panda Turning Red. 2022's Turning Red. That felt like a sort of not as representative as I maybe would have hoped, but probably expected out of something like Disney Pixar. I'm curious to see, with those restrictions lifted, are we going to see a little bit more representation here in this movie? Something I'm going to keep an eye on. All right, anything before we hop in? We're kind of going in shockingly blind. The last two people on planet that haven't seen K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yep, apparently.
Yeah.
No, that's pretty much it. And I'm in the same boat as you with the K-pop. I have zero knowledge on that side too.
Yeah. All right, well, let's go learn something and watch the film.
Yep.
Welcome back. We're back. Hello. We're back, enchanting couch, 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 couch.
Couch, couch, couch.
I-
Let's go,
I-
baby. With the couch.
I also yearn for the couch.
Uh-huh.
We've returned from watching K-pop Demon Hunters, a movie I watched twice because I felt like I sort of missed a whole bunch of stuff in the first, let's say, 90 seconds of this movie. And that was correct. So I'm glad that I watched it twice.
Hold on. What did you miss in the first 90
Well,
seconds of the
the
movie?
first 90 seconds of the movie is like, oh my god, here's the three people, and it's going, and there's the person used to be. It's the crowd. It's not literally the last 90 seconds, but it's when you hit you get the like backstory between the Hanmoon and like the women singing through the ages and all that stuff. And as soon as you
To make it golden.
yeah, as soon as you cut to the crowd and they start doing the rapid fire, like here are the three women and here's why we love Huntrix, and like here's what the whole backstory, and like her mom died and this raised her and that, and it's just like, okay, cool, yeah, I need a refresher on some of that. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I see how it is.
Yeah.
Boston doesn't pay attention during the pre-reel, apparently.
No, definitely not. I only wake up about 5 minutes into a movie. So if you don't, you get the
That explains why you like Fast 10 so much, because they just recap Fast 5 during that
yeah,
whole
exactly.
start of that
I
movie.
just check my eyelids for holes. You know, it's just like reading a fantasy book. The first couple of pages are going to be, oh, here's all the terms. Oh, here's a map. Okay. Oh, the lineage of the dwarves.
Arrakis,
All right, here we
Dune,
go.
the desert planet.
Yeah, exactly. Like, come on, get to the good stuff.
I
The
just
Shai
realized I'm
Hulud.
literally wearing a Dune hoodie as well.
That's right. Anyways, enough about Dune and how much we love it. K-pop Demon Hunters. Unsurprisingly, I had a blast watching this movie.
So, this is the vibe check part, which we don't normally do. We
Sure.
normally do that pre-roll. I got up to the first appearance of the bird with the hat and
Yeah.
the cat,
Uh-huh.
and then stopped taking notes.
Yep. Makes sense. It's
This is a genuinely great movie.
yeah. I like, and it's really interesting to watch it because I think it, let's be honest, it's a standard kids movie. Like it really is. It follows all of the beats that a kids movie will follow. It has a metric ton of singing. It is high action. It is incredibly colorful. But dang, it's really good.
Super physical humor is out the wazoo as well in this movie.
One of my favorite things in this movie is the overly exaggerated facial features that they have.
Expressions.
Yeah, like that's so good. And it feels true to, I think, if you were reading things like comics or manga or whatever, especially stuff that's aimed towards kids, it feels very similar to that. Like it's very similar to what you would see. It's a lot of like the anime we grew up watching, where it's like, oh, why does everyone have the sweat drop? And it's like, okay, that's just like, that's a manga anime thing. Like it's part of the visual language of it. And it's really interesting to see them break their own movie apart a little bit to show that stuff. And I think it really, really works.
And I do like the fact that they don't use the, at least that I'm aware of, they don't use the traditional manga stereotypes.
Right.
Like the abs scene, it's all just popcorn eyes. That's just
one of my favorite scenes, man. It's just like
no nosebleeds, just popcorn eyes.
Well, and like the one woman is eating the popcorn that's coming out of the other woman's eyes. Like it's so good. Oh man. Who is our favorite of the three women? Rumi, Mira, or Zoe?
Probably Mira, because she wore a sleeping bag to the Met Gala, which is just...
She's posing
again,
in the sleeping bag.
The physical humor is just off the charts.
Yeah. I like both Mira and Zoe. I feel like for opposite reasons. I like Mira because she's the kind of no nonsense kind of deadpan uh, portion of the trio. And then I like Zoe for the
Mhm.
exact opposite reason. She's this like the the only thing they must be is, and everyone else says demons, and she says magicians. Like,
Yes.
as,
And then she's like, well, to be fair, magicians could do that
that's
also.
true. There's a really good scene. I think it's like a scene or two after that, where they're all saying like, "Well, we need to beat them at the most important event of the year," and everyone else is like, "Oh, the big Idol Awards." And she goes, "The state fair." It's like, "Yep, yep, perfect. Yes, this is
Mhm.
this is why you're incredible, Zoe." Um,
So I will say one of the things I do genuinely love about this movie is this movie is not about, and there's certain kids movies that do this. I think Frozen is a good example of this,
mm,
but it's not about finding the strength inside to do something. It's not about the everybody's special inside kind of thing. It's
mm-hmm,
like, no, people have got problems, and embracing those problems is kind of a good thing, and it
right,
makes you who you are.
right,
Like, that's one of the things that I think Frozen does not get enough credit for, is like, yeah, I'm flawed and there's problems, but that's also part of who I am
yeah,
kind of situation. I think this movie does a phenomenal job of telling that story
right,
instead of the you had the Kung Fu Panda inside the whole time kind of thing.
yeah. We have no skadoosh moment here. Um, and like I think it's really interesting is I think this movie originally seems to flirt with a found family sort of thing, which I think is
Hmm.
interesting. But I think that it kind of swerves away from that at the end of being kind of like, no, like I am and we are good enough. And like our friendship is important. And the fans are important. But like you said, being good enough is good enough at the end of the day. And I like that a lot. And I feel like you kind of can't talk about this movie without talking about the incredibly banger soundtrack from top to bottom.
I'm really glad I only listened to it once. I'm really glad I only watched the movie once. Otherwise, it would be in my head.
Yeah, I I don't think there's a song in there that I dislike. I think I was
What is your
originally
favorite?
it. So part of the thing that was frustrating me about this movie originally, and I kind of didn't get it until the movie was over, was I felt like we were getting, except for Soda Pop, we were getting snippets of songs, and my like boomer attitude about halfway through the movie was like, God, can I just like hear one single song from front to back in this movie? Like, is that too much to ask? But like, that's a critical part of the movie is building on songs and building on themes and remixing songs as the events continue, and then at the end of the movie the big payoff is you get the full performance of Golden, and then you get the
Mhm.
full performance of the like essentially completely remixed version of Takedown.
Yeah.
So like I thought that was really interesting. um and I think there's like the in the middle of the movie where they're on the top of the train fighting all of the demons, and there's that version of
Mhm.
Takedown. I think that might be my favorite one. It's only like, I don't know, maybe two verses total. But I feel like there's a that has some of the best energy. I mean, obviously Golden is great. Obviously Soda Pop is great. Like those are kind of the big songs I feel like everybody knows. But I think that might be my personal favorite one. How about you?
I think my favorite one is the introduction song where they're beating up the demons on the plane,
Oh, it's so good.
especially when they're trying to prepare ramen and save ramen during the whole
Yeah,
fight scene also.
and
I think that's great.
I think one of the things that I was really impressed by, this movie reminded me a lot of PS1 JRPGs. And when JRPGs were getting to be really big, and they were like, it was that post Final Fantasy VII, pre Final Fantasy IX era of PS1 JRPGs, where there was still a lot of um, localization for the US that was really aggressive. Where it's like, we're
Mm-hmm.
going to change this main character's name from Akachi to Mark. And it's Mark and his friends in this school, and they're all eating hamburgers. It's like, okay, cool, sure. And it's like something a little bit different from, when we were looking at like the NES, Super NES, Genesis RPGs, where like you're removing all crosses, you're removing all blood. It's like a different level of like kind of whitewashing. I really
Mm-hmm.
like that this movie didn't do any of that. Like the very first song and every song from there on has a ton of Korean in it. And
Yes.
they are continually using, like, mixing English and Korean words in a way that, to me as an outsider, feels really natural and felt like a fun mix of the two languages in a way that I was really refreshed by, especially for something that's so huge with kids. It's this really interesting, like, not dumbing it down for kids, quote unquote, and not
Mm-hmm.
uh mistrusting the intelligence of kids. It's just sort of like, yeah, man, this is a movie that takes place with a bunch of Korean people. So like the songs are gonna have Korean in them.
It
That's how
makes
it
perfect
goes.
sense that it has Korean in it. Yes,
Exactly. And I like that the
but
movie
especially like
embraced it.
yeah, and especially like as part of the whole being in a much more global. The world has got so small recently,
Yeah,
like, and being part of that smaller world is like, yeah, like K-pop is huge now in Western countries. So is J-pop,
true.
and like
Yep.
baby metal is one of the biggest heavy metal bands on the planet right now. And as far
Right.
as I'm aware, they only sing in Japanese.
I believe so, yeah. Well, and it's
Like,
really interesting too because like they keep referring to the stuff as the Han Moon instead of like, and if this was 20, 30 years ago, they'd be like, the golden wave of magic. And it's just like, nope, it's the Han Moon.
mhm.
Like, we're just gonna, like,
I'm assuming Honeymoon is Golden Wave.
I don't know. I didn't look it up, but they would have just been like, well, I can't have a Korean word in this movie. So it's so great that they have that. And like, if you look at that bird with the hat with the three eyes, who's just
Hmm.
incredible, and the big blue cat that it rides, like that's very clearly mythology, either directly ripped from mythology, like a lot of the demons are, um,
Hmm.
or very, very heavily inspired by that. And I was like, God, you just kept all of that stuff intact when it came here to the States, and that's especially on a huge platform like Netflix. It's like, God, you guys just didn't touch it at all, and that's incredible. And
Yeah, like it's shocking, and the hilarious part for me as well about this is you mentioned in part one, like, yeah, Sony turned this down. Still made by a Sony studio.
yep,
Like,
so they had their name on it.
like it's like, come on, guys.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I I think the thing for me about this movie is I feel like it kind of struggles a little bit in the middle, especially when Rumi and Ginu are meeting often,
Hmm.
and Rumi's kind of keeping multiple secrets from the rest of Huntrix. Um, I feel like that stuff struggles a little bit to kind of find its pace. I think it's done really well, but I feel like the bookends of the movie are really snappy and really move fairly smoothly. Um, but I think that's my only stuff that kind of is like, okay, like this stuff is good, but it's kind of, especially when they meet, and it's very much the we're falling in love musical numbers of, we've talked about it musical
Hmm.
episodes past of like the emotions get just too great and they have to burst out of me in song. Like those are very much those scenes, which I think are great, especially for a musical. But I think that's my only stuff of like, okay, like it's okay, it's fine. Other than
Yeah, I
that,
think I don't think you're wrong. I think the middle is like the weakest part of this, but at the same time, it's still really good.
yep. And like, this is a 95-minute movie that just books the whole time. Like it feels like it at times is approaching, and I know you have seen stuff like this before, where it's kid focused stuff that is just, it's like dangling keys for 90 minutes of just like everything is too bright, like there's way too many songs, it's just like there's more songs than there are speaking lines, like, and it's just everything is moving at a million miles an hour, and there's double the fart jokes you think any movie should have, like, and I think this movie like brushes up on that every once in a while, but then I think pulls back from it fairly naturally in a way that I really respect, and I don't think I recognized it until I watched it the second time of like, no, like it has a good ebb and flow of like we're up and then we're down, like we had a big performance, Golden is a huge hit, and then she's running away, she's at the top of a tower, we're going to see that weird bug-eyed doctor guy who's totally legitimate doctor.
Yes.
Like bringing it down a
Totally
little bit.
legitimate doctor with the best eyes ever in
Oh my
any anime.
That's so good. I also I felt like I recognized his voice when he was talking. I just looked it up as Daniel Day Kim plays that guy, and I was like, perfect. Yep, that's exactly who you want to have play that dude. That's incredible.
Yeah.
I kind of liked the villain too. It was just like a big fiery mouthpiece demon thing. Like I liked that they didn't try to make him into a dude. Because like you have the five Saja boys who are kind of like the face of the evil. Then you have all the kind of minor demons. All of them are incredible.
Yeah.
And I like that the bad guy.
Of course, Ken Jeong is Bobby.
That's
why I knew his voice so
Yep,
much.
it fits perfectly. But like I really appreciate that they didn't try to make the bad guy just a big tall dude, like a maybe a big fiery dude. Because I don't think that works that often. Not every movie can be Summer Wars. It's like, oh, he's just the same size as we are, but he's just terrifyingly strong. Okay, cool. God, what I'm trying to think of what else is here.
Do you have we talked about, okay, so what your favorite physical humor part? What's that? Because I do think that this movie does so much physical humor so well.
It's not my favorite, maybe one in general. It's my favorite kind of small one. Genu, when he is sending the water demons to attack them in the men's bathhouse, and he's about to leave, he slips. He's just like, oh geez. Yeah. Anyways, gotta go. Like that's just such a great moment of like, yeah, they're still kind of humans anyway. Like they're impossibly attractive and their voices are impeccable. But this bathhouse is super wet, and I'm trying to run away from these demons. And, like, that's a really good, just kind of really small one. I think one of my favorite kind of physical humor scenes, I think, is when they finish the big concert, like that first big concert when they sail, out of the plane and then land on stage.
Couch.
It's that whole scene of, like... the like they're going yeah, like the resting like extended face, and then who's it, Rumi in the golden outfit just slowly rising from behind the couch between the two of them with that like ever increasing way too big grin. Is just like, okay, this is really good. And it's a back-to-back, like the couch scene is great, that scene is great, and then It's when Mira and Zoe realize that the promotion starts tonight because and then Bobby's like, the video is blown up, everyone's watching it, and all three of them are like, yeah, let's go do it. Like they immediately flip to like, yes, let's go, this is another hit,
Yes.
let's go. That's really great.
And they've got that really traditional anime face going on at the same time too.
Yep.
But the way it's animated, like because I think the thing that this movie does so well about that physical humor thing, especially from an anime side of things, is because it's the 3D CGI kind of animation instead, like the Spider-Verse kind of animation,
Yeah.
instead of like traditional like hand animation. Like the way they introduce the traditional hand animated expressions into this
Yes.
3D environment,
Mm-hmm.
I think is absolutely masterful. Like,
Yeah.
because you could have that and it could go horrifically wrong.
Yeah.
And it turns out, no, it's just absolutely phenomenal. Like, it's
So,
great.
like Zoe at one point, there's such a great scene at the very beginning where they're carbo loading, and I think it's that scene, or it's the one in the penthouse where Zoe gets the like shark teeth because she's getting ready to rip into a package of something.
Yes.
Like it's all that little stuff, and they never sit on it too long. Even when they're doing the like, yeah, couch, that thing, they're going back to back
Mhm.
with different expressions that are there for maybe half a second. Like it's not just like, hey man, look at how
Yes.
wild her face is. It's just like, no man, it's really interesting because it's some of the stuff that I don't think you've seen Turning Red, the Pixar movie.
I have not.
But it's something that they flirted with in that movie of like, what if we were taking a lot of the same influences and stretching characters' expressions just a little bit more than a Disney Pixar movie would, and then K-pop Demon Hunters takes that like 10 steps past it, which I think
Mhm.
is really great.
Like,
Um,
my favorite, like, repeated physical bit is the cat that doesn't like things to be knocked over, the tiger.
it's so good. It's the like the crow's face when does it for like the 15th time, and the crow's just rolling his eyes like, oh my god.
Yeah, huh?
Also,
And then the fact that like Rumi's trying to shoo them away when she's afraid she might get caught with them,
mhm.
and like then knocks over the waste paper bin on the way to the door, and then the cat's like staring at it as she goes to the door, and you just see the cat paw coming out the side
Yeah.
going
I
trying to stand it up.
I also really like Rumi asking Genu about like, why does this crow have a little hat? And he's like, oh well, I made the hat
Mhm.
for the
I made it for the tiger.
yeah, I made it for the tiger, but the crow kept taking it. It's just like, okay,
Mhm.
that's probably not true. That's great. It might be true too, and that's great too. That's super good. There's also that older lady that tries to give one of them like a bracelet, and Ginu's being weird about it, and she tells Mira like, "You can take this bracelet and go find a better man." It's like, "Yep, great, that's super
Yeah,
good." Oh man, um, God, this movie's really great. I don't, I
it is.
I think I don't think this movie would work that well without there being so much back and forth in the kind of climactic concert scene, the like Saja Boys versus Huntrix stuff. Um, because you have that really great golden performance, and then you have the pretty clever demon fake out where two demons are kidnapping Bobby, and then it turns out that Bobby is also a demon, which I thought was
Yes.
really good in a movie that
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't expect there to be like a level of subterfuge there. Um, and then the kind of like the fake Mira and Zoe doing takedown against Rumi, which I thought was really good. I was like, okay, like you're coming with some cool stuff here at the end. Um, I This movie's really good. I don't think
It is.
I think going into this, I was expecting to watch a fairly okay kids movie that was really carried by its soundtrack. And that was my concern, was going to be like, okay, like, like, I was going to use Frozen as another example, but the kind of like villain twist at the end of Frozen is a lot better than people give it credit for. Um,
Yeah, I
so
think
like,
that movie is massively underrated.
yeah,
Like, it made $1 bajillion
right,
for a reason, and also the actual adult storytelling part of that movie is phenomenally good.
yeah, and it's something that Frozen 2 sort of fell down on, and Frozen 2 really felt like, okay, I'm just kind of stringing together these songs more than the first one did. But I was really really impressed by the whole movie overall. It really wasn't just this soundtrack vehicle, which does make sense because I don't think anybody would have expected the soundtrack to pop off as much as it did in 2025. But
Mhm.
this is a great movie, man. Like,
I mean, they're doing live concert versions of it. Like, I've seen VTubers already releasing like covers of the songs from it. Like,
yeah, they did
it's
the sing along version of the movie was in theaters. Like, it's it's
yeah.
it's massively huge, and I I'm glad we picked it for our famous movie because
By the
I
way,
go ahead.
do you know the name of the crow and the tiger? It's not said in the movie, but
No, I don't actually.
the crow is Sussy and the tiger is Derpy.
Oh, I don't
Um,
like Derpy. I don't. That's not a word.
yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that, but they did make a plush of him that sold out in 2 hours, apparently.
I bet. I do like that. I do like that crow quite a bit. Um, there's Derpy is a word that I like. Okay, let's break it down. There are words out there that are similes for the R word. Derpy is
Yes,
not.
it's synonym for the R word.
Yeah, Derpy.
It's not, but it's close enough.
Yeah, like it's close enough for me to feel a little uncomfortable about it. Of like, oh, that cat looks derpy, and I'm like, yeah, but like, what do you really mean when you say
Mhm.
that? Because I feel like what you're trying to say is something very different. When someone's like, "Oh, that boy's special," it's like, yeah, okay, that's not great. You should just say the word you're trying to say, which is offensive. So that's a little bit of a.
Mhm.
I'll still call him Blue Tiger, um, but that I would probably buy a plush of that crow for sure, especially if it came with the little hat.
Mhm.
Um, but like I think the thing that we have talked about this a bunch in the past about kids video games of like, just because the intended audience is children does not mean the thing has to be bad. Like the Bluey
Yes.
video game that came out was bad because they didn't account for the fact that children have taste. And it's nice to see something like K-pop Demon Hunters, unlike a lot of kids stuff that definitely that we grew up with, but still persists to this day, is sort of like, I don't care, man, just jangle the keys for 2 hours. Like, who kids are gonna watch? Like, who cares? That's a talking dinosaur in it.
Yeah.
Everybody loves. Um, but something that I think respects kids and still manages to have a great soundtrack and really uh, be a story that I think resonates with kids and adults at the same time. It's not just like, oh, here's a slightly ribald joke that only parents are going to get, and the kids are going to say, what does that mean? I'm like, yeah, don't worry about it. That's not, or like make something up. It's really not like that. Like it's really really well done. It's really competently made, and I'm a little bit bummed that I haven't watched it to this point. At least we're getting it out of the way in early 2026. But I was like, dang, I could have been watching this thing for a couple of months here and
Yeah.
singing up, up, up all the time.
I mean, look at the bright side is it's not going anywhere.
True. True.
For me, I can finally watch the Cinema Wins on this, which I haven't seen
Oh
yet.
my god, I bet that one's really good. I gotta go watch that.
I'm looking for it. I loved his Encanto one.
Oh,
I
okay.
think is phenomenal.
Oh man, another
So I'm
great movie.
I'm very much looking forward to this one as well.
Talk
So
about
I'm looking
underrated
forward
Disney
to
movies. Encanto is really
that.
great.
Encanto.
Yeah.
Again, one that's underrated because the two songs that stuck in everybody's head.
Yep.
It's got the same problem that Frozen's got, where it just has one or two songs that just everybody knows, and because
Yep.
everybody knows it gets underrated.
Yep. Nothing like Raya and the Last Dragon, which is like one of my favorite, personal favorite modern Disney movies that like nobody has seen. It's so good.
hmm
Yeah.
That includes me.
Yeah.
So
It's really good. Anyways, what are your kind of final thoughts here for K-pop Demon Hunters before we get into the ratings and the rankings here?
I wish I hadn't come up with arguably the best season transition we've ever done, because I wish we would have watched this second.
Yeah, yeah. It would have been a balm that soothed whatever psychic damage the next movie is gonna inflict upon us. Which
Uh-huh.
check out next episode. We're not going to talk about it until then. It's a surprise.
No. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's go become a patron, listen to the production meetings.
Exactly.
That's not a good idea. It's
Patreon.com/Emo
not a good idea, slash it's the best idea. The ones and numbers.
Yeah, I struggle to find anything I dislike about this movie, and like there's an element of, I'm sure if my kid was interested in this movie, I actually had a conversation with her recently when I was like walking her to school, because I was like, I started watching K-pop Demon Hunters, and it's not scary, because I thought that was going to be her concern of like the demons being a little bit too scary. And she goes, I'm not really worried about it being scary. I'm just really sick of the songs. She's like, I never want to hear Soda Pop one more time in my entire life. And I was like, dang, okay. It's a very different world for kids. And I need to do a better job of remembering that, of like, this school is going to play this soundtrack probably constantly because the kids are asking for it nonstop.
Didn't even think about the fact that they're getting exposed to this that much kind of thing.
She's sick of it. She's never even seen it, and she's like, I don't want to watch it. I'm tired of it. And it's like, dang, I don't blame you. Like, I'm not gonna force you to do it. I respect it. But like, this movie's really, really outstanding. And I could see this being a movie that I put on when I'm like, all right, I want something kind of lighter. I want something like, I want to watch a musical. I don't want to watch anything that's 4.5 hours long. I want something that's kind of light and a little bit fun here, that I would probably laugh about the couch scene again every single time I watch this. And this movie is just really great. I don't even need to quantify. It's just like, if you've listened to this episode and you haven't seen it, you need to go watch it. It really is that good. I got no complaints, really. I mean, minimal like pacing stuff, but I'm just being nitpicky at that point. So, all right, let's move on to rankings here. IMDb has to say 7.5 out of 10 with 110,000 reviews. Probably a bunch of parents that are sick of it, or people that are racist. So let's move on to
racism detected.
Just whoop whoop. Rotten Tomatoes here has a 93% on the tomato meter with 98 reviews, which feels a little bit low, but I think because it's a Netflix thing. 99% on the popcorn meter, and on Letterboxd has it a 3.6 out of 5, which I think is way lower than I would give it. I'm probably at the 4.5 out of 5, like 9 out of 10 range personally.
Yeah, I'm probably 4 to 4.5.
Yeah,
is where I'm probably sitting.
I feel like if you would ask me another time, I could probably, if somebody be like, "Oh, is it a 5-star movie?" and I'm probably be like, "Yeah, man, sure." Like, I wouldn't be like, well, no, I mean, it has serious. Like, no, man, it's a good movie. Like, whatever. And I think if I'm looking at putting on my amateur critic's hat, I feel like a 4.5 is probably. I'm looking here at my Letterbox friend list, and someone here rated it a 2, and I'm like, oh boy, man, that was really just not for you, huh? But yeah, I really loved it, and I am glad. Again, I'm glad we picked it here for our famous part of our famous infamous, because it really did feel like the biggest thing that came out this year, without a doubt. So don't forget, our next episode is going to be infamous. Remember, going into it, we'll mention it again next episode. It's famous for being bad. So keep that in mind when you see the title of it coming up on your feed for the next episode. So hopefully you will join us for that one. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.